Yo, what's up guys, MegaDPAL here, and I'm bringing you another Pokemon X and Pokemon Y Wi-Fi battle for you guys today. Today I'm against Pyrusdude. I'm looking at team preview. This battle was in fact actually taken a while ago, but at the time I wanted to try out some new pokes, like Bishop, like Charizard Y once again, stick Tentacruel in there, along with Landorus, just trying out a few new guys. And my opponent, his team looks very well structured, very balanced, looking nice and powerful and standard, so this should be a really fun game, so let's just get straight into the battle, shall we? So before we start, I'd just like to quickly apologise, as I am still sick, so I do apologise for my throat and my voice throughout this battle. So either way, I'm going to lead out my Landorus, predicting his talonflame lead. He actually leads off with the Greninja. This is obviously a bad matchup for me, so I'm going to be forced to switch as a Greninja. Forces a whole lot of offensive pressure on me turn 1, so I'm just going to go into my Ferrothorn, just take whatever he wants to do. He just plays it safe, goes straight for the Ice Beam. I am more physically offensive, so that does a decent bit. But I'm actually going to predict him to U-turn out here now this following turn, which is fine by me, because I do have saved the Iron Barbs recoil in combination with a Rocky Helmet and his own Life Orb, which he did in fact reveal. So it's going to do around about just under 50% to his Greninja. Not even touch this thing, which is great. So like I said, I did predict a U-turn, so I'm just going to go straight for that Thunder Wave. It makes a very risky play, a very offensive play, going straight out into his Lucario. To catch that thing with a T-Wave on the switch, which is nice because we all know Lucario is a huge threat. So what I'm going to do is make the switch go out to my Landorus, try and get up my rocks for his Talonflame, but he's going to make the double switch, predicting that, which is very nice for him, as I'm going to be forced switching out there again, because I'm not too sure whether this thing is in fact choiced in any way. And I don't want to risk it this early on. It's most likely physical offensive looking at his team structure, but either way I don't want to risk it. So I'm just going to go straight into my Ferrothorn as he predicts that nicely, go straight for that Volt Switch, gives him the free switch into the Garchomp, which again is fine by me, because I do obviously have my Landorus, as we've just seen. I can use this time to get off the Intimidate and try and get out my rocks and scout out what this thing is in fact going to go for. It actually goes for Fire Fang, looking at damage after the Intimidate, and he's in fact going to switch straight on out of there this turn. So I'm leading to believe that this thing is in fact choice. Looking at damage, most likely Scarf, so that's valuable information to know later on in the battles. I do finally get up my Stealth Rocks as it switches on into the Rotom. So once again, I don't want to reveal the U-turn just yet. I want to preserve it for later. Maybe catch him on that element of surprise. So I'm just going to go straight out into my Ferrothorn. This actually goes for Will-O-Wisp once again. So this is a little annoying. My Ferrothorn is taking a whole lot of damage from the Rotom and the Greninja early on. So he's going to go for that Volt Switch now. As I'm just going to go for the Leech Seed. Try and catch anything on the switch, or try and catch a Rotom. Try and get a little bit of HP back and some damage on whatever he wants to go into. He's in fact going out into his Porygon 2, which is actually fine by me once again. As I say fine by me a lot. Just because I do in fact have a Bishop on my team, and most Porygon 2s do in fact run Recover, Toxic, Ice Beam and Thunderbolt / Discharge, so I know that I can easily eat up anything this thing wants to go for and begin to set up on this thing. And if you guys seen his team preview, it's very weak to my Bishop, so he's going to go for Ice Beam. I eat that up nice, but of course he gets the freeze on my Bishop, the huge threat. I do in fact get frozen, which is really bad for me. It's because like I said, I could have set up and done a whole lot of work to his team, so I'm going to try maybe hope for the first turn 4 out, get a little bit of luck, but of course I don't, because in comes his Rotom now. I actually don't want to take a Will-O-Wisp and get crippled, so I'm just going to go back into my Ferrothorn. He's just in fact going to play it safe, just go straight for that Hydro Pump. He in fact scores a crit, not going to matter in the long run, because even if the Hydro Pump didn't take me out, the resulting burn damage would. So I'm just going to sack off my Ferrothorn, get a free switch into my Charizard Y. I do obviously carry the Solar Beam. He's obviously fearing that with the way I brought this thing in, and Charizard Y is more common than X on Wi-Fi currently. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve, just go straight for that safe Solar Beam. After the Stealth Fox damage and the first Solar Beam, it's actually going to be a solid 2-hit KO on this special defensive Porygon 2, which is really nice. So I'm just going to go straight for that Solar Beam like I said. It's a definite 2-hit KO, and I'm just going to go for it the following turn. Not the greatest players. I could have potentially gone out into my Bishop and try and burn some turns and hopefully 4 out and set up, but at the same time I thought at the time my Bishop was pretty much useless, and I didn't want him to go out back into Rotom, because I don't have much to actually switch on into his Rotom or take a burn. So either way, this gives him a free switch into his Garchomp. Where you brought in, I was expecting either a Stone Edge, so I'm just going to make switch go out into my Landorus. As he just plays it safe, goes for Dragon Claw. This is fine by me, because now I'm actually going to go for that U-turn, yet to reveal it, but he's actually going to bring in his Talonflame, and in combination with the U-turn and Stone Edge, do around about, I don't know, 52% to this thing, which is nice, because obviously we do know Talonflame is a huge threat. And I actually misclick here, supposed to go out into my Scarf Garchomp. I actually clicked the tentacle. So what I'm going to do is go out into my Bishop, expecting the Brave Bird here, but he actually reveals a roost. So I know this thing is obviously not choice. There's not obviously the standard choice set. So and then it actually reveals acrobatic, which is really unfortunate for me because of the fact that he is in fact obviously not going to take him recoil from the Brave Bird. But now he's going to set up as I'm actually just going to go for that knockoff system and do a whole lot of damage to this regardless. And I actually don't knock off an item because he's not running an item in order to boost acrobatics power. So he has set up one bulk up. I'm actually going to switch it out into my Landorus now. Go for that Intimidate because I kind of want to keep its attack level. But it is at +1 defense, neutral attack now as he actually goes for that roost, which is really unfortunate. This thing is a huge threat. He's going to go for that bulk up now, giving him +2 defense, +1 attack. Then I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go straight to U-turn on out of there. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go out into my Garchomp now because I know I can live up +1 acrobatics. And because Garchomp is relatively bulky, and I can obviously retaliate back with Stone Edge, take out this threat. So in comes acrobatics now. I do leave that, like I did say, get a bit of ruskin damage off. Go for that Stone Edge, but no, I miss. This is a crucial miss, as I have absolutely nothing to take on this Talonflame now. I'm going to be forced to keep spamming the Intimidate from my Landorus, get this thing back to neutral, but this acrobatic still doing a whole lot, and it's at +2 defense now, I do believe. So this thing is a huge problem for me. He's just going to go for that bulk up, as I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go for HPIs, try and do as much damage as I possibly can to this thing. And he's at +1 attack, +3 defense. Does a decent bit actually, considering I'm not obviously invested in its neutral and not stab. He's going to go for a roost now. And I should have predicted that. I should have gone for the earthquake, catch that thing on with the earthquake as I went for a roost. But no, I just went straight for that U-turn. And I'm actually going to go out into my Bishop now. Try and force him kind of to go for the Flare Blitz or play a bit of mind games. But I actually thought he'd potentially set up here. So I went straight for that knockoff, trying to get a bit of damage. But he doesn't. He just goes straight for that Flare Blitz. So I should have probably gone for the Sucker Punch, get a bit more damage off on this thing, but this brings me back into my Landorus again. Once again, just to spam the Intimidate. I'm pretty sure it's at like +4 defense wise, and maybe +1 attack, +2 attack. Don't quote me on this. Kind of lost a calc cover or the bulk ups, but he's just going to go for that acrobatics now. As I predicted the roost, I'm trying to get into the damage where force him to go for roost and catch him with the earthquake, but that's not going to be the case. He's going to take me out with 2 acrobatics now. So this gives me a free switch to my Charizard. The only thing I'm hoping and praying I can actually live an acrobatics from this thing. So I'm going to go straight for that, and I do live with 9 HP, which is great. Sun boosted, hit the Fire Blast this time, and I'm actually going to wipe out the Talonflame finally, but all because that one Stone Edge miss and put me in a very bad position. So I'm obviously going to still try and win at this point. I'm pretty sure the score's like 5 something. I'm not too sure at this point. That Talonflame's done a whole lot of damage to my team, so I'm going to go out to my Tentacle as he goes to U-turn. I do know at this point my Scarf Garchomp is my win condition, because obviously I'm able to revenge kill his Greninja, his Lucario. I just need to get his Rotom to the point where I can obviously take it out, and he does in fact have his own Scarf Garchomp, which I do believe. So I need to obviously try and knock off that thing, and obviously outspeed it with my own Garchomp. So I go for knock off on the Rotom, knock off its Chester Berry, swiftly dodge the Will-O-Wisp in the process. Just go for the Toxic now, try and get a bit of poison damage on this thing, racking up to where my Garchomp can obviously take it out with an Outrage, like I did mention. So he's going to go for that Volt Switch. I eat that up, being specially defensive. In comes the Garchomp now. I know he's not going to go for the Earthquake, because I do obviously have a Charizard Y, so, and that way you will obviously be locked into that. So I'm just going to stay in, go for that knockoff, like I did mention. That Dragon Claw did a whole lot of damage, and I thought because of the knockoff, I actually knocked off his item at this point. I thought I could easily go out into my Garchomp and revenge kill at this point, but because I actually died to the skin damage, he's actually going to win the speed tie, still having his Scarf. I wasn't to know. I unfortunately lost the speed tie as well, and he's going to take me out with the Dragon Claw. And this brings me down to my Charizard, which he of course outspeeds and is going to take me out. So I think the score was actually in fact 4-0, not 5-0. So all because of that one Stone Edge miss, and because I actually died to the Ruskin damage from the Garchomp, I didn't manage to knock off its Choice Scarf. So it was a pretty interesting battle nonetheless. I still had a lot of fun. So I'm going to try and hit this guy up again, maybe get a rematch, hopefully can get an even better battle, because it's still pretty fun. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.